The book we're going to be looking into and talking about today is called Pulling Together, 10 Rules for High Performance Teamwork. We're going to take this in small bites and go through some of these principles that we need to know, some of the things that we need to put into practice to be more effective. I'm going to read a brief portion of this book, just a couple of pages, and then we'll discuss it as we go forward. Teamwork is a principle-based value. In other words, if you value teamwork, you have to commit to the principles that grow it. You have to sow the right seeds. You have to accept and apply the rules of the game. True high-performance teamwork requires an extraordinary amount of trust, faith, and belief among team members, a collective mindset that puts the team first. To cultivate this trust, a team must have something constant to hold on to, especially during times of change and turbulence. These constants give the team a foundation, a set of rules to play by. Break these rules and you break the foundation of the team. The purpose of this book is to clarify and explain 10 rules of high-performance teamwork. These rules serve to cultivate the true power of teamwork, allowing you and your team to achieve synergistic results that exceed anything one individual can do alone. Use this book and these rules to clarify expectations and foster accountability, build more focus, unity, and trust and credibility with your team, align people and systems, reducing friction and accelerating flow, mobilize commitment and generate enthusiasm, create more balance and harmony within the team, pull together and experience the extraordinary power of teamwork. There's no limit to what can be accomplished if it doesn't matter who gets the credit. Rule number 1, put the team first. Cooperation is the thorough conviction that nobody can get there unless everybody gets there. At the center of every high-performance team is a common purpose, a mission that rises above and beyond each of the individual team members. To be successful, the team's interests and needs come first. This requires we-opic vision, what's in it for we, a challenging step up from the common me-opic mindset. Effective team players understand that personal values, personal issues, and personality differences are secondary to team demands. This does not mean abandoning who you are or giving up your individuality. On the contrary, it means sharing your unique strengths and differences to move the team forward. It is this we-opic focus and vision, this cooperation of collective capability, that empowers a team and generates synergy, the power of teamwork. Cooperation means working together for mutual gain, sharing responsibility for success and failure, and covering for one another on a moment's notice. It does not mean competing with one another at the team's expense, withholding important data or information to one-up your peers, or submitting to groupthink by going along so as not to make waves. These are rule breakers that are direct contradictions to the team-first mindset. High-performance teams recognize that it takes a joint effort to synergize, generating power above and beyond the collected individuals. It is with this spirit of cooperation that effective teams learn to capitalize on individual strengths and offset individual weaknesses using diversity as an advantage. Effective teams also understand the importance of establishing cooperative systems, structures, metrics, incentives, and rewards. We get what we inspect, not what we expect. Think about it. Do you have team job descriptions, team performance reviews, and team reward systems? Do you recognize people by pitting them against standards of excellence or one another? What are you doing to cultivate a team-first cooperative environment in this competitive, myopic world? To embrace the team-first rule, make sure your team purpose and priorities are clear. What is your overall mission? What is your game plan? What is expected of each team member? How can each member contribute more effectively? What constants will hold the team together? Then stop and ask yourself, are you putting the team first? And one more quote, none of us is as smart as all of us. And we're back.
You're back.
Sorry about that. We're all back. Sometimes teamwork looks like this picture because bullets can only go through so many bodies. Yeah, it's cute until you're that guy. Wanted to take a look at what we just heard and think about how it applies to us as a team. What are our constants here? What are the things, the constant values, the constant goals that we share as a team? And I want everybody to just jump in and pipe in and tell me what you think. What are the have to, must have values?
First, can you change that picture? It's disturbing.
Okay.
So is that one.
Is that better?
Much.
We'll go back to the penguins because they're non-threatening.
Well, I think just like what I just asked, I requested, to have something a certain way that maybe, wouldn't affect
Ricky,
someone.
caller line 6. Ricky, caller line 6.
Wouldn't affect maybe everyone in the team, but if someone in the team is uncomfortable or uncomfortable with something, some knowledge or some skill or something, and someone else has that knowledge or skill to help them with or offer, or, to help in that regards. I mean, I think everyone has their different strengths and weaknesses in different aspects of this job or life in general. And I think if we can help out with each other with that, I think that would go a long way.
Well, that's very good. If I had to boil that down, I would say consideration for others. We have to take others' needs into account. Is that appropriate?
Yep.
Okay. Sounds like Surf's up.
What was that? Is Dave still there, or did he get...
He muted himself.
No, I'm here.
There he is. All right.
But I did lose you for a little while.
Okay. Well, you're back. Now, any other constants besides consideration for others? What other key things do we have to keep in mind?
Just plain support.
Support.
Mm-hmm.
Can you elaborate? Now that you're in a support role?
Yeah, right. Well, I can see where it helps you guys to have somebody constantly, you know where your orders stand. You're getting them right away. You're getting your phone calls. Not that you weren't before, but,
Mm-hmm.
Or even just between the three of you, You have a crappy phone call, so you have somebody to lean on.
That happens. That happens. There was a situation the other day when one of us was just not having a great day, and being able to share that and have a good laugh about it helped lift the mood of the entire office. I think that's a very good demonstration of teamwork. What do you think about the concept of open honesty? It was mentioned in the reading.
I didn't hear that part. I actually missed part of it. I had to take a phone call.
I think honesty is overrated.
Thank you for sharing that.
I'm just being honest.
Yeah.
No.
The passage I'm referring to is cooperation means working together for mutual gain, sharing responsibility for success and failure, and covering for one another on a moment's notice. It does not mean competing with one another at the team's expense, withholding important data or information to one-up your peers, or submitting to groupthink by going along so as not to make waves. These are rule breakers and direct contradictions to the team-first mindset. Now, I look at the... Go ahead.
Go ahead, Mike.
I was going to say that I just see that as an integrity issue.
Exactly, and I couldn't agree with that statement more. I mean, I guess because I had experienced that in another job where this gal was kind of not kind of pulling her weight, and so she fabricated this story about how I had called on one of her clients, which I did not, just to make herself look better, make me look bad, and that was the worst feeling in the world, because I knew I did not call on that client. She did it just to kind of throw the weight onto someone else,
Sure.
and that was the worst.
Sure.
So I mean,
on top of being indefensible, because I mean, how do you defend yourself against
Right.
something like that? There's that betrayal. I mean, you're supposed to be able to count on one another.
mm-hmm.
So,
Well, I can say that was my favorite part when I was still over there, was it was non-competitive.
well, we
Right.
shouldn't be competing with one another. We need to be competing with our competitors.
Yes.
So, what did you guys think of that closing statement? Hang on just a second. The statement that says, there is no limit to what can be accomplished if it doesn't matter who gets the credit.
Well, I think it's great because, I mean, it's times 4. I mean, right now, it's if we're all, it doesn't matter who gets the credit and we don't know, and we all do the great job. I mean, that's 4 times. It's not just seeking the one goal; it's seeking 4 individual goals and all meeting our goals.
Excellent. Anybody got something to add?
Is your mic on, Jessica?
It is now.
There you go.
It's kind of like the sky's the limit, with everybody playing the same game.
Well, there is that. I'm going to play devil's advocate for just 1 second and ask what you guys think of the idea when it says there's no limit to what can be accomplished if it doesn't matter who gets the credit. Replace that last word credit with commission.
See, I was even having a hard time with just credit.
Why?
I don't know.
I was already thinking of commission.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, my brain goes to money.
Well, and it should, but I think what we're learning here is that can't be the motivating factor behind a team.
Plus, if you take our current situation, our current contest, they go hand in hand. I mean, it's going to take all of us to get the extra commission or bonus in the end. And I think if we all do our jobs well and we all make good sales and good money, it's just going to benefit all of us overall, and which means individually as well as a group.
Well, there's truth in that, and I think what we have to keep in mind is there's this dog-eat-dog world kind of view of things where I'm going to look out for number 1 and I'm going to make sure that I got mine. And then there's this other look at it from the teamwork point of view, that we're going to work together so that we can all reach a better goal. And what I think we're trying to do here, and what I am trying to do, is demonstrate a really old principle, the idea that a rising tide raises all the ships in the harbor. From the most luxurious cruise liner all the way down to a garbage scow. They all get raised up by that rising tide. So if we can lift up this tide, bring this company up, bring our performance up, and by doing that, improve our customers' performance, everybody benefits. It comes down to simple economics. The company can afford to pay more if the company is making more. So with that, I think I'm going to stop our recording, and thank you all for your participation. And we'll pick up at another time where we left off and continue on with this reading. I think it's been stimulating the discussion, so we're going to keep it up. Thanks a lot.